Okay, let me do something real quick. Trying to get some decent lighting in here. Oh wow, like pink is a oh pink is a pig. So let me see if I can get my copyright thing up here. It's been a while since I've done one of these. I actually posted some video games. Oh, I don't have that up anymore. Okay, so I'm gonna have to type this out. Just a little something. I think it's like 1976. Okay. Okay. Oh well. Yeah, I don't have the the thing where you pay for using them. Uh, Here we go. I'm back. So yeah, like I said, I use StreamYard, and I want to get back into true crime. I haven't done, like I said, I haven't done a true crime video for a little while. I don't know, months. I had a lot of stuff going on. I hurt my back. I don't know. I may have told about that in my last interview, but anyways, I had or last one of these I done, and like I said, I done some video. I posted some video games where I play some Red Dead Online. But I haven't done like a true crime video for a long time. I'd say probably at least 2 or 3 months. I was hurt for 3 months. I had some medical stuff going on. I hurt my back, a minor fracture in my L1. I had to wear this big back brace. I believe I had on one of the videos. You can see the top. It goes around, and it's got like Velcro, and it's got like a metal bar holds your chest, and kind of, I guess it's like a cast. And anyways, everything's kind of healed up, and had some other stuff going on. And it looks like as of right now, I'm through the weeds with it. So I kind of want to get back to maybe doing some videos. This one is trigger warning. It's an interview from O.J. Simpson. So that's why I got all my fair use. I got my music going, and through these true crimes, I've been watching interviews and things like Duper's Delight, where Liar's High, where you smile when you're lying or you're talking about something you got away with. There's things like a mouth pierce, where you're talking about something you kind of pierced your mouth a little bit, and you'll see all these in OJ's interview. And then there's the tongue jut, where you kind of do a little something with your tongue. And there's you also saw these in other interviews too, with people doing interviews, and I may get into that a little bit later too. But and then there's, like, if you look at like their forehead, like the scowl, like if they're talking and they scowl, that's usually some sort of uncomfortable, they're uncomfortable with what they're talking about. And then there's word analysis, like words you use, he'll use hypothetical a lot, because that's what, even in these YouTube, my opinion, it legally protects you from, I believe, the Fifth Amendment, where, you can have an opinion, you can say things, you just can't incriminate yourself. You can't, what's it called? Not besmirch, but somebody's credibility. It's I'm totally losing the word. It's actually a legal term that lawsuits have happened where people said things about people that weren't true, and it took away their credibility. Oh gosh, I'm totally losing the word. I don't know. It might come back to me later. But he'll say, hypothetical in this a lot. And this is actually, I believe, before he wrote the book, If I Did It. And, OJ, as we know, is he's not on this earth anymore. He was acquitted of the crimes. But this interview is very interesting. And I believe it's called, Did He Really Confess? And I just kind of want to go over his mannerisms, his face expressions, the words he used, things like that could determine that he's not, being truthful, or he is being truthful. But he can't say what he wants to say. There's a trigger warning in this. I actually didn't watch the whole thing. I watched about half of it because I really wanted to go over it. I just come across it, and I don't think the interview, you'll tell here, the interview's even been aired. So it's really fascinating, and I hope I don't get struck by playing this video. I might. It is on YouTube. You can go watch it, and yeah, it's interesting. He goes over a lot, and let's go ahead and play it here. See, it's been a while, and. Yeah, I think it's actually getting ready to play, so let's go ahead and play it. Yeah, okay, we're just going to play it.
I'm going to tell you a story you've never heard before because no one knows this story the way I know it. It takes place the night of June 12, 1994, and it concerns the murders of my ex-wife, Nicole Brown Simpson, and her young friend, Ronald Goldman. Forget everything you think you know about that night because I know the facts better than anyone. The story you know or think you know, that's not the story, not even close. This is one story the whole world got wrong.
Is this his confession? You be the judge.
And tonight, for the first time ever, you will hear O.J. Simpson put himself at the scene of the murders and tell you, in his own words, what he says might have happened that awful night. O.J. sat down with the publisher, Judith Regan, in 2006 for what would be his first and only TV interview about his relationship with Nicole and his movements on her last night alive. Regan and Simpson agreed that he would write a book about the killings that she believed would be a bestseller. It was called If I Did It.
What do you think people are going to think of this book?
Some people say maybe it's blood money. Well, guess what? Every book that was written about this case was blood money.
After the victims' families protested that O.J. should not be allowed to profit from the murders, the book's publication was suspended, and this interview with Simpson never broadcast.
Coming up, he never took the witness stand in his criminal trial. But tonight, for the first time, O.J. Simpson puts himself at the scene of the crime. Up next, O.J. describes what might have happened the night Nicole Brown Simpson and Ron Goldman were brutally murdered.
The chapter 6, is called The Night in Question. And you write in the book, now picture this and keep in mind that this is
Purely
hypothetical.
Yes.
Hypothetical.
Why don't you tell me what might have happened on the night of June 12th, 1994? And let's just walk through the night.
And that laugh,
This is very difficult. for me
laugh
to
is
do.
interesting.
Very difficult for me because it's hypothetical. I know and I accept the fact that people are going to feel whatever way they're going to feel. They're going to...
You've seen that a lot with interviews where before they're asked a question and before they're even answered, they got that laugh. Susan Smith, some other people, Katie Proudfoot.
Whatever they want to feel. In the book, the hypothetical is
Charlie pulls that up.
Charlie.
And I believe they made a movie about this too, but they connected it to Charlie Manson. In the movie, I forget what the movie's called. It's like a B movie, and
this guy Charlie shows up, the guy who I had recently become friends with, and I don't know why he had been by Nicole's house, but it told me you wouldn't believe what's going on over there. And I remember thinking, well, whatever's going on over there has got to stop, right? So we kind of hooked up together, and I'm kind of broad stroking this. We go over, get into Bronco and go over.
Let's just go back and do the details. Where did you?
Yeah, she stops him there. So like in the movie, like he's talking about Charlie, like in the movie, it's like Charlie takes over his body and
Park.
This is the detail.
You park
In the hypothetical, in the alley.
You park in the alley.
Yeah.
And you put on a wool cap and gloves.
In the hypothetical, I put on a cap and gloves.
and he'll get away from the hypotheticals here when he gets going. That
you reached
duper,
under
that
the
is a
seat
duper's
for-
delight.
A knife. I always kept a knife.
Go back. I try to pause it as it's happening, but man, watch this. This is a duper's delight
Knife.
sandwich here.
I always kept a knife in the car for the crazies and stuff because you can't travel with a gun.
Duper's
And I remember
delight.
Charlie saying, "You ain't bringing that," and I didn't, right? But I believe he took it
Charlie took the knife.
in the book.
Yeah.
Got a little smile.
So the back gate, you go through the back gate,
Yes.
and it was open or broken or
I don't recall.
okay.
I go to the front
Yeah,
and I'm looking to see what's going on.
Duper's delight.
And I can see that it appears like Nicole had candles
There's
all
a-
the time. She really did to keep her overhead down.
That was a quick mouth pierce.
And music was on, and while I was there, a guy shows up. You know?
So Ron Goldman comes in the back gate.
Yeah, a guy that I really
Wrong
didn't
place, wrong
recognize.
time
I may have
for
seen
Ron
him
Goldman.
around, but I really didn't
God rest
recognize
his
him
soul.
to be anyone. And in the mood I was in, I started having words with him.
He says to you, "I just came by to return a
You
pair of
can-
glasses.
I'll-
Judy left them at the rest."
I'll try to keep from pausing all the time, but you can see all that weird stuff going on with his mouth, that lip piercing, mouth piercing, and I believe there's a tongue jut coming up too.
Yeah, words to that effect, yes.
And
And
He was
I
on-
don't know if I
See
believed
that
it or
scowl?
didn't believe it. He was pretty much immaterial.
Holding his
because,
hands tight.
You know, I was more concerned
You've
about
seen that
everything.
in other interviews too, where they hold your hands like that. They hold tight. They're not open.
Everything that was going on, you know, and was fed up with it, I guess. And
you get into a fight. Nicole comes out.
a
and-
verbal
fight.
Got
And
a
that
little
thing
loud.
with the eyes, where his eyes gets big, to somebody like believe this story. And sometimes you'll see people they'll even I hope I'm still being shown on camera here, but they'll kind of lean towards you and or like nod, like like, hey, believe this, or
out, and by that time,
there was a time
Nicole had come
mouth
out.
pierce.
and we started having words about who is this guy, why is he here, what's going on.
And she says, "This is my house. Get the F out
Yeah.
of here."
Yes, and which I didn't like because once again, this is the same person, and if you read the book, you'll see some things that happened in the 2 weeks leading up to this that were very, very irritating. And I think Charlie had followed this guy in, wanted to make sure it was no problem.
So he's
And
Charlie.
he brought the knife. As things got heated, I just remember Nicole fell and hurt herself.
Looking to the
And
His right.
This guy kind of
Searching.
got into a karate thing. And I said, well, you think you can kick my ass? And I remember I grabbed the knife. I do remember that portion, taking the knife from Charlie. And to
he
be
is
honest,
physically, his mind and hand is going through. This is scary. This is just my opinion. Did he do it or did he not do it? I'll leave that up to you. I'm not going to, but that's scary when he is sitting here, managing the motion of having the knife in his hand as he is remembering it. That's very telling to me in my opinion,
After that, I don't remember, except I'm standing there and there's all kind of stuff around and
blood.
What kind of stuff?
blood and stuff around.
Yeah.
I hate to say this, but this is hypothetical. I'm
Right.
sorry.
Laughing.
I know we got to back up
He
again.
he went totally off of the hypotheticals. You know, I think he kind of remembered like, okay, I need to. And then that laugh, man.
It's
You know,
okay. I want to
but
back
this
up.
is hard. This
This is hard. I
yeah,
know. I
yeah,
want to back
it's
up
hard
to.
to try to make people think that I'm nervous.
I know. You wrote in the book, I had never seen so much blood in my life.
Look at that look, man. You know, it's probably if it happens hypothetically, it was rage, and you could tell he kind of blocked it out there. And when he said it, and then he stopped. I hear so many times, read, heard, saw on these other channels where people were, true crime. They were talking about doing the crime, like eating knives or choking somebody out or even shooting somebody. They describe it as like they're watching themselves do it. They disassociate from the reality of it happening, and a lot of times they'll block it out, won't remember it anymore. It's it's just how your brain processes things. And same thing with lying. That's why I think if he is hypothetically lying, well, I don't know, in this situation, I think he's telling what happened. So there's a lot of dupers to lie, and the mouth piercing and lip piercing. I know he did a tongue shot. I don't think I caught it. That's just like uncomfortability. I think he's having a hard time talking about it. He never took the stand. And the title of this is, did he really confess?
You're covered, the scene. Can you describe it?
It's hard for me to describe it. I'm telling you, I don't think any two people could be murdered the way they were without everybody being covered in blood. And of course, I think we've all seen the grisly pictures after. So yeah, I think everything was covered, would have been covered in blood.
Look at that.
And what goes through your mind at a time like that?
I don't know. It's like, what happened?
Yeah, I didn't remember doing it.
You write about removing a glove before taking the knife from Charlie.
I had no conscious memory of doing that, but obviously I must have, because they found the glove there.
Look at this. I must have, because he found the gun. He's getting totally away from the hypothetical. His lawyer would be pulling their hair out right now. And that was a mistake. You make mistakes. Brian Kohlberger, the sheath, the knife sheath. A lot of times they leave shit behind. He don't, like I say, he can't even hardly remember it happening. He blocks it out. So he's like, I must have left there. They found it. That's why I want to play this. It just popped up on my, I don't know what you call it, like when you watch stuff, and I watch so much true crime, and I don't even remember watching anything on OJ, but this just popped up and I'm watching it. And I think I got like to about right here, and I quit. Well, I'm like, I gotta vote. I want to do it live on this.
And blacking out. Have you ever blacked out before?
Not to my knowledge.
No.
Of course, if something like this would take place in anybody's life, if it were to happen, I would have something that you would probably automatically have trouble wrapping your mind around it. It was horrible. It was absolutely horrible.
It was horrible. He was,
For the first time, he tells us all the shocking details.
Where are the bloody clothes? So somebody had to get rid of the bloody clothes.
Next.
Somebody.
Then you see bloody footprints and you decide to take off.
Yes. Actually, I believe Charlie kept saying, we got to get out of here.
And in the book, you describe taking off your shoes, your pants, and your shirt and dropping it in a bundle. Do you remember that?
Yes.
And do you remember what happened?
Because what are you going to do with it? Somebody's got to get rid of, as you may have called during the trial, it said, where are the bloody clothes? So somebody had to get rid of the bloody clothes.
And you had left your keys and wallet in your pants pocket, and you had to go back and get it?
You know, to be honest, I think I know that to be true. Yes.
I think I know that to be true.
And Charlie is hysterical, screaming, "Jesus Christ, OJ, Jesus Christ." And you tell him to shut up.
Yeah, he's in a panic. He was in a panic, and I'm telling him to shut up. Let's get out of here.
So you get back in the car, the bundle.
And drove back and parked a block away because I knew the limo would be there, and came across the backyard through the 2 tennis courts and, came through the house.
So you went through the neighbors.
Neighbors, yeah. He had a tennis court, then I had a tennis court.
And you go into the house, and what happens in the
You
house?
cannot just say all you like.
I ran
You cannot make all this stuff up unless you knew. Even if somebody told you, you would not be able to remember. This is wild.
upstairs to take a shower. I actually ran upstairs and took some of my bags and came back downstairs and put them out front.
OJ was due to catch a late flight to Chicago, where he was scheduled to play in a Hertz golf tournament the next day.
And then I get dressed and I come back down.
And then you get in the car and go to the airport.
That's correct.
You sign autographs.
Yeah.
And you wrote in the book that you were asleep before the plane took off.
Virtually, yeah.
Early the next morning, OJ was awakened in his Chicago hotel room by a call from the LAPD.
When did you cut your finger?
It's a knife, probably.
To my knowledge, really, when I got the call the next morning, and this is the truth, when I got the call the next morning saying that Nicole had been murdered, was killed, was dead. And I kept saying, what do you mean dead? Killed, or whatever the words they use. I said, what do you mean? And as well, we can't tell you anything. We're still investigating, but where are you? And when can you get back here? And I think I actually went in the bathroom and it was dawning on me. I didn't really throw a glass. I just was, and when I was putting it down, it just smashed.
Oh, it was.
Police believed that the cuts on OJ's hand probably came from the fingernails of one of his victims.
I went downstairs. I was bleeding at that point. I went downstairs and asked the lady on the desk for a Band-Aid. And I knew I signed so many autographs, and even when I arrived the night before, there was people, and I signed autographs, and I knew I wasn't bleeding in any way at that point, but I knew when I was leaving I was. And I ran to the airport, and I ended up forcing my way on a plane. It was sold out, and somehow I told them that my wife had died, and I got to get out of here.
If you're not old enough, let me tell you something. The O.J. Simpson trial murder. This stunning blonde, her husband.
Okay, I guess that's it. Yeah, I was wanting to go through the comments so I could get back. Can I get back to the? I thought it would still go. That's how it ended. That looks like that was a clip of it. But yeah, that's wild, man. Like him describing, and then saying somebody had to get rid of the clothes. That sounds like to me, like he's saying somebody got rid of the clothes for him. So we're going to turn this music down a little bit because I think we'll be all right now. I don't think we got struck or anything. That's wild listening to that. That if you were alive during that, I believe I was a senior in high school, and it went on even to my freshman college year. That was so big. I mean, everybody was watching it and following it and talking about it. And I mean, it seemed like that year that was the only thing going on. And then you got the Bronco and probably one of in my lifetime. I'm almost 50 years old. That's the biggest trial I can remember. I think maybe even like kind of close to it was the Johnny Depp Amber Heard, but maybe I'm missing one. I think Scott Peterson's. I don't know if that was televised. But yeah, I mean, but that was weird because like he really wasn't. Was he lying? You know, maybe he wasn't lying. You know, because he was. But was he lying in the fact that he was saying it wasn't him? You know what I mean? Is that why all the Duper's Delight and you know then he wrote the book If I Did It. I wish I could remember the name of that movie, but I remember the Charlie things. I was like, I watched the movie and I this is for this interview, and then I was like, I thought it was connected to Charlie Manson, but maybe it wasn't. Maybe I just thought that. I watched the movie. It was a weird movie. It was, I don't know what it was like a B movie, but it's kind of like a horror movie, and they showed the Kardashians in it. I forget who played them. But they showed, and then you know they were all kids, Kim and Chloe and all them, because they were real good friends with OJ, the dad, the Kardashian. He was their lawyer, and I think a lot of people forget that. Yeah, that was just a wild time, and that was before DNA. And you know, I was thinking about the fingernail, like if there was, you know. Did they try to get like, well, I guess DNA out of his finger, but that was before DNA. Yeah. If this was like a cold case and, you know, they never even apprehended OJ, I think it would have got solved with DNA. Because no one knew. I remember talking about DNA, and I remember thinking, what the heck are they talking about here? What is this? And then, like, literally, like, within the next 2 to 5 years, it was big, you know, and they were making movies about, or TV shows like NCIS with the gloves and, and like DNA catches everybody now. Cold cases, you know. Then they got the genetic, what's it called, genetic DNA, where they could take DNA and then find family members and find their family members, and then get, like, you know, follow them around and get their DNA and then connect it to them. I think the Golden State Killer, that's how they got him. There may have been another one. But then there's unsolved cases where they say they have DNA. I think with Nancy Guthrie, they have DNA, and Missy Beavers, they have DNA, and they still haven't. If they're not in the system, I guess they can't catch them. But yeah, that's wild, man. I'm gonna go ahead and end it here.